Hello, Virgo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Virgo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Virgo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Four of Pentacles. I think you're somebody right now you're having a lot of safety and comfort, kind of like in your own being, in your own home, in your own life. This is a card usually that is like, I like what I like my routine, I like the people in my life, I like what I'm doing. It's kind of like I want to stay in my lane, you know? I feel like this is a bit of safety, security, stability in a crazy world. This is our little island of just where I feel at home, you know? These are my beliefs, these are my feelings, these are my friends, these are my opinions. This is my job, this is what I do, these are my hobbies. And it's like, it's all familiar. And it's all, some things maybe could be better, some things could be worse, but it feels like it's ours. It feels like it's our safety. It feels like it's our refuge in a crazy world. Okay? Outside of this box is the unknown, the dark, scary forest. So I think you're somebody that right now is feeling that stability and is feeling like, I kind of just want to stay here where I know kind of what's going on. I'm not trying to take my mind or my consciousness outside of what I already know. Because there be monsters out there, you know? Feels like it's not safe to go beyond the wall, right? We're staying and it's almost like, well, I'm going to ignore everything that's out there. I'm just going to do what I do, live my life, focus on my pets, my plants, my people, and do the things that bring me that sense of comfort and safety, and work on me, work on my life and my relationships. It's kind of like we're not really interested in trying anything new, right? Or exploring anything that might be beyond the sort of, the comfortable things that we already are doing, basically, right? Let's put this card into a little bit of context, and let's see what is going on outside the walls here, okay? We got the Two of Cups. Interesting, okay? We have a Prince of Swords. We have a Queen of Swords. We have an Ace of Cups. We have a Knight. Okay, a Knight of Pentacles. The Knight is on the edge of that dark, scary forest. Okay, so I feel like we are gearing up to do something that's a little bit outside of our comfort zone, but I think it's something that we really feel we want. It's something that we are inspired to, right? Something that we want to merge with. We have the Two of Cups, Ace of Cups. On the path of the Serpent, we have the Ace of Pentacles. So not only do we want it, but we're going to go get it. We may feel a lot more safety and familiarity out here than we think. Okay? There is going to be, perhaps the possibility of rain. Okay? It looks like rain might be in the forecast, but it's not going to be that bad, and you're not really going to be too worried about that. You brought your umbrella. Okay, this is perhaps a new adventure. This doesn't have to be romance, although it is a Two of Cups. Two of Cups is a card of love, attraction, anyway, the urge to merge, right? We've got another 4, right? 4, 4, and 4. 4 of Wands. And finally, Prince of Cups. Prince of Cups is interesting because this is somebody that's trying to stay authentic. I'm trying to stay who I am, trying to be true to myself, honest with myself. I'm trying to live my truth, In the middle of this dark, scary forest, in the middle of this crazy, mixed up, chaotic world, I'm trying to stay true to who I am. And so to me, this is saying that you're going to go outside the walls. You're going to go outside the safety of that Four of Pentacles, and you're going to still be okay. You're going to be yourself. You're going to get the love, the experience, that whatever this is that you're sort of feeling like drawn to. I feel like you're being summoned outside of the safety of your little cabin in the woods, because there's something out there that you want. There's something out there for you to discover, something out there for you to merge with. This is the card that's saying you're going to be okay. Even when we're out there in the world, right, in the crazy world, you're still going to have yourself. You're still going to be true to yourself. You're not going to get lost in that forest. Okay? We're kind of starting with the end here, but I think this is a good place to end because it'll make the rest of the reading make sense, right? So this may be where we should begin, because this is the final outcome. This is the pattern of energy that we see here is all trending toward this. And this is somebody that's out in the world, but is still authentic, is still who they are, hasn't lost sight of their beliefs, their values, right? Their preferences, hasn't lost sight of kind of what they believe in, what they want, and who they are, what their core energy feels like, okay? Because with the Prince of Cups, it's a fixed water energy, right? So this is somebody that can go into a crowded room and the vibe of the room, you know, that mob mentality or the general vibe of the room doesn't have to swallow us up. It's kind of like that card that says, if I go out into the world, if I immerse myself in the world, in the water, we see this eagle chariot is just about to dive beneath the waves. But this is air and water, this card. So it's like a bubble. It's like we're realizing that we are a bubble of spiritual energy. And even if we immerse ourselves into the vibes, the aura, the energy field, or the emotions of a collective, of a group of people, or of whatever's outside our safety, whatever's outside the house, right? That we're going to be a self-contained unit. We're going to be like a bubble in the ocean. Okay? It doesn't matter what kind of pressure is on that bubble. The bubble's going to stay a bubble. I guess. I don't know too much about, hydrodynamics or whatever, but the idea is we're a bubble in the ocean. We're surrounded by all of this emotional energy. Okay? All the vibrations, yeah. But we're still able to be who we are. And so this is really reinforcing the idea of, hey, you know what? Let's go outside. Let's step outside our front door. Let's look at the horizon and say, I want to see what's over there. I want to go find something that I love more than anything else. I think we love the safety of being here, but I think what we're doing with our Four of Cups is we're realizing that wherever I go, I can feel the same safety and security within myself. I don't need to actually physically stay limited inside of this. Now, maybe this is more about exploring other spiritual pathways. Maybe this is about getting to know some different people. Maybe it's about going out on dates and just kind of casually getting to know other people. Maybe this is about trying new activities, trying new sports, trying new martial arts things, trying new hobbies. Getting out there and doing something that's not just in our familiar human physical environment already. Okay, I end up reading the same science fiction books because, well, that's what I've always done. That's what I like. Well, maybe this is like, well, I'm gonna go into the dark, scary forest here, and I'm gonna read some adventure books. I'm gonna read some fantasy novels now. I'm gonna branch out and read some romance or something, right? Trying something different. That is, well, we're still reading, right? But we're experimenting with something quite different. Let's select the mystery card before I forget. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set this down right over here with Tiny Bob Ross right on top. We're not going to look at that happy little card until the very end, but it will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comment section down below. Now, as we look around the room, what's one thing that stands out to us here? No spiritual energy. Well, or so it seems, no major arcana. Does that mean that spirit's not in the room? Does that mean that your life doesn't have the spirit to it, doesn't have any kind of divine connection, or that divine energy's not here? No. What that means is that the divine energy is the support. It is the table. It is the space between your thoughts and feelings and actions. Okay. We have fire, which is your action, your intention, your will. We have water. Water, 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 water. These are your feelings. These are the movements of your emotional energy. We have the air, which is the movement of your mental energy. And we have, of course, the earth, which is the movement of your physical energy. Okay? And I feel like right now your mind and your heart are moving. We just got to now get the body to move too. The body's always the slowest to get there. The thoughts, the feelings, the will come first, and then it's kind of like the body just like slowly has to stretch. All right, I guess we'll get to it. Let's do it. Yeah. And so the earth is the densest of the elements, and so it takes longer for it to get on the ball. It takes longer for it to start moving at the speed at which our thoughts and feelings and our willpower is going, you know. But we don't have the major arcana because Spirit's here to say, you're supported in what you're doing. And it's kind of like, that's kind of supposed to give us that confidence. That's kind of like, look, Spirit's got you. You can go outside. You can explore these things that you love. Spirit's got you. You're taking that spiritual energy, that divine essence is going to be with you everywhere you go. That's kind of like the bubble of air, right, in the water here. Everywhere you go is going to be that divine energy. And so maybe we're feeling like the only place for me is going to be in this routine that I have established, or in the particular familiar life, however I'm boxing myself in. That's where the spiritual energy is. That's where this is what I have to sort of do or maintain, because this is where my safety, security, and stability are. But I think what's going on here is that we're realizing that I can have that support, I can have that feeling of sacredness everywhere I go. That's something that exists within here. You see, we have the Four of Pentacles. It's an earth energy because we feel like there's something about the way I have my life arranged. Almost as like we're putting the power into the physical objects rather than realizing that power is in me or going through me or whatever. And so it doesn't matter what form my life takes. It doesn't matter where I am or what I'm doing. I'm the spirit. I'm that essence. I have that divine energy with me. It's not just saying, oh, I got to go home to my book collection or something. No, we can take that spiritual energy anywhere we go. And so I feel like Spirit is not showing you any major arcana energies because there's really nothing of the spiritual nature for you to work on except for you to recognize that it's here. Recognize the presence of the divine in your life, inside of you and all around you, regardless of what the physical environment necessarily looks like for you, okay? This isn't literally saying that you don't want to go out of your house. Maybe it is that a little bit. But this is the idea that in our daily lives, that we feel that there's a certain kind of power in maintaining what we've already established in life. This is a maintenance energy, really, right? This is material power. Kind of like saying, in my life, right here, with the way I have things set up, it's like me in this studio here. I'm the boss in this studio. This is where I feel all the power because this is where I'm safe. This is my stuff. I've got it arranged. I took time to put everything where it is. It's not this stuff that's giving me that power, though. Because I walk outside the studio, and then suddenly that power's gone, that whatever the spiritual energy is, it's left here somewhere. Yeah, it's here too, but it's also me, and it's in me, and it's going through me. And I can take that everywhere I go. I go upstairs, go to the kitchen. And it's the same energies there too, you know? And so sometimes we feel like we're the master of our domain, and this is where we like to be. This is where I can be myself. This is where I can control what happens, to more or less, you know. This is where I can choose what's on TV. I can choose what radio station is playing or whatever. I get to be the boss here, you know. Or really, I think with the nature of the water energy here, it's the feeling like this is where I can really feel safe, and I can feel loved, and I can feel like empowered, okay? Because the Two of Cups here is your second position. It's the obstacle. The quest for you is to find a relationship or an encounter with something outside of your comfort zone, outside of your box, your limited structure of life, something that you resonate with, something that makes you feel empowered, something that you can give your energy to and it gives energy right back to you. It's a reciprocating kind of thing. It could be romance. It could be a pet, a plant, a person. Okay? Kind of the idea here is go outside your house today and find something that you love, that you just want to be a part of. Whether you find an object on the ground, a little stone or something, you go to a thrift store and you find some little trinket that really speaks to you, or you go somewhere and you find something that inspires you, or you find something that arouses something in you that you want to be part of and have it part of your life. Okay, so the battlefield is really this idea of connection, allowing ourselves to be attracted to something outside of what already exists or what is already known and what's already familiar. Because I think we're realizing that we're sort of limiting ourselves. But there is a lot of love out there in the world. Divine love, self-love, platonic love, romantic love, whatever kind of love. It's the glue. There's attraction, right? That we're attracted to a lot of things. And it kind of feels as if we don't want to go out there and be attracted to anything or anyone because there's always a chance of storms. You know? It's like even when you look out the window and it seems bright and sunny, birds are chirping, you say, well, it could rain. And I don't want to be caught in the rain. So we stay in here where we're safe, where we're comfortable. And I think we like that. I think most of us, we enjoy kind of being home. We enjoy the things that we like. I like to put on the familiar TV shows. I like to have the familiar music. I like to sit on the familiar furniture and drink the familiar tea. There's a comfort in this. That's why, for instance, my set here doesn't change very often. If it does, it changes slowly over time. Okay? We don't like abrupt change. I like to keep things, I like to come in and see this is set up the way it is because I feel like the more it stays the same and the more I'm here with my energy, we're sanctifying the space. We're making the space powerful. There's a sense of holiness and a sense of power here and in your life too, because of the things that remain consistent. And so we have to think of like what things in our life are we valuing because they're consistent, and we feel like now there's a power in those things, and if those things were to change, would I lose that power? Would that be gone? If I suddenly got rid of that pillar and that vase, if I got rid of this triangular shelf thing, if somehow the set would lose power, or I would lose my mojo, And I've experienced that before when I would change the set too radically. I'd feel like my readings are off. I'm just like, I'm like dropping cards. I'm like fumbling my words and stuff, and I'm not connecting with the energy the right way. But that's the perception of it. Okay? And now over time, this set has changed quite a bit. The only thing that's been here the whole time that I've been doing tarot on YouTube, well, the tarot cards, this Thoth deck, and that triangular pillar, the wood shape, the wood shelf system thing. That was the original piece of furniture that was here. The desk is different, chair's different, all the equipment's different. Okay. I probably had the shirt maybe for a while, but the cards and that shelf thing. But I think as human beings, we don't like change to happen too quickly because then it feels like the energy's been disrupted. Okay. And so we're not really trying to disrupt the energy now. We're trying to just kind of add to it or augment it or realize that the power is not in the objects. The power is what we put into those objects, those relationships, those events, those places, the room of your house, right? This is kind of like saying I can only meditate in my particular closet, in my particular bedroom of my house. That's the only place where I feel spiritual. That's the only place where I feel like I can tune in, you know? What we're doing through some of this energy is we're realizing that I can take this spiritual energy with me anywhere. I can go meditate on the subway. I can go meditate in the park. And I used to feel exactly this way too. I'd feel like my spiritual practice in particular, especially in my early 20s, my spiritual practice, I had to be at home. I had to do certain things in a certain way. I had to take a shower first. I had to say certain invocations and prayers and mantras and things. I had to do a particular series of breathing exercises. I had to wear a certain outfit. I had to go into a certain room, light a certain candle, burn a certain incense, sit in a certain posture, and then my spiritual work would start. That's ridiculous, right? Because then it's kind of saying there's all this other stuff that happens that's not part of it really. But that spiritual work only happens in that first, or, you know, in that kind of last like hour, you know. But I think what we're realizing here is that that everything we do, everywhere we go, is that spiritual work, that spiritual life, that divine experience, that holy experience is everywhere we go, because it's not in the bath, it's not in the robe I'd wear or the, you know, the words that I would say. It was in me, coming through me, through the universe, into me and into the things that I'm doing and the objects and things too. So anyway, let's get back to business. The Two of Cups is your task right now, the quest before you. And that's to embrace this kind of love connection, whether it's romance, whether it is something that's attracting you, calling to you from outside your comfortable place, outside your familiar zone, to go out and explore that. Okay? To also understand if the place you're in now, if this is truly fulfilling for you, or if there's more out there. The Four is very limited. Okay? So it's kind of like saying, you know, ask yourself, do you love your home? Do you love your routine? Do you love this kind of comfortable thing? And maybe during the winter time, this is where you want to be. I want to stay home. I want to put the same things on the TV. I want to just kind of, I want every day to kind of be that comfortable type of day. We have to ask, like, is that really fulfilling me? Or is there something inside of my soul that is calling me to a new adventure? Down beneath the surface, you have your Prince of Swords. This is a fixed air energy. This is us trying to stay locked in on a certain path when something is pulling us to the side. Something is trying to call us. Something is luring us. I feel like Spirit is kind of whispering in your ear right now that there's something else out there. You're hearing something calling you from the dark, scary forest, and we're trying not to listen to it because it's dark and scary out there. We don't know what it is. It could be a monster out there. But I think something is kind of like something's whispering to you. We're trying to stay locked in. Okay. This is very often a mindset or a belief that is too in our lane. Whether we're talking about your romantic life or your spiritual life or your career, your physical life, or just your home life, it's like we're in our lane and we're staying in our lane. But I don't think there's something inside of you that doesn't want to stay in its lane. You know, kind of like saying, I like my lane. It's a comfortable lane, but I wonder what else there is. Okay. So if this is your spiritual practice or something, it's kind of like saying, there's something in me that wants to go explore other traditions or other techniques or other practices, go to other places. I kind of want to go meditate on a mountain or near some running water, not just at home in my room on the yoga cushion or something, you know. Something that's trying to take us outside the house, I guess. Anyway, in the background you have your Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is trying to distance themselves from emotions, trying to rise up above the turbulence of the water and not experience the emotion. So I kind of feel like the nature of this card is that, yeah, we have been hurt. We've been through a storm. And so because we've been through the storm, we had to we flew away from that storm. I got the heck out of there. It was raining, and I went to where it was sunny out. And I got away from that storm. I ran into the house. It started raining, I ran into the house. This is that card of what we might think is stoicism. We think of it as detachment. This is, the figure has risen up above into the sky, away from the turbulent waters down below. So it's not that we've gotten out of the storm, but we like stopped sailing the boat altogether. Of course, that's confirmed here with our Four of Swords. This is the card of the storm shelter. This is the card of the safe harbor. We're not sailing the boat. Why? Because the last time I did, there was a storm and I had to run away from the storm, and I, almost didn't make it. And of course, then we get into the Four. We're running away from the storm. We get into a shelter. We find a shelter, and there we are in the Four of Pentacles, in that shelter. We started to make that shelter home. We started to feel very comfortable here. And then anything that may happen outside of our predictable daily experience, we think of, oh, another storm. It's like somebody knocks at the door and you think, oh, I wasn't expecting anybody. And we get startled, right? Because it's something that's unpredictable, something we didn't expect. Okay. And I think that's kind of where we were. The Fours are supposed to be temporary, right? The Fours are supposed to be temporary. I think emotionally, in a relationship or something similar, we had a bad experience. And because of that experience, we learned to distance ourselves from our feelings and play it safe and just kind of do our thing. Maybe we became a hermit or a homebody, maybe literally, but maybe emotionally. And we've been sort of distant. We haven't really been connecting with people. We're keeping ourselves emotionally safe, stable, and secure by not opening my heart to people. How do you avoid getting hurt in a relationship? Don't have a relationship, right? And the thing is, though, the Two of Cups is saying, I want one. It's time now to have one. It's time to believe it, at least to go out there and to open ourselves up and say, it's okay to have one. There may be storms that happen. It's okay for me to want things, to be attracted to people. It's okay for me to want love, even though love is where we found the storm last time and we fled. But now we realize that I still want love. The thing is, when we have a Two of Cups, we know that there's going to be a 3, but also a 4, a 5, a 6, a 7, an 8 of Cups, but also a 9 and a 10 of Cups. We got to go through the whole gamut of emotional experiences. We don't want to get scared, and because we get the 2, well, we have the Ace, we have the 2, right? So we're attracted to something. We realize I want love. I found something that I think I might love. I'm attracted to it, and then we go through the 3. We have experience with that thing, that person. And then, we get the 4, we start to feel, okay, this is good. I'm getting comfortable. I'm starting to open up a little bit. We get the 5, we get the storm. Oh, crud. We run back to the 4. We run back to what made us feel safe, to the nearest thing that made us feel comfortable. Maybe a past relationship, maybe our seclusion, our isolation, maybe just our home. We lock the door, we say, I'm not going out there again. So we never get past the 5 of Cups. Because then we start to peek outside the door. Okay, looks safe. I go outside a little bit. It starts to rain again. We run into the house, shut the door again, and say, the more that happens, the less likely I am to go outside. Because I know I'm going to see the 5 of Cups. The thing is, if we keep going, we'll get the 6 of Cups. We'll get the 7 of Cups, right? It's been raining. There's going to be some mud. But we'll get the 8 of Cups. We'll get the 9 of Cups and the 10 of Cups too. And that's kind of why the 4s are the temporary thing. Because once we get the 5, we end up going right back to the 4. What we're doing here with the 4 plus the 2 is we're going right to the 6. Okay? I think if you were to go forward now, there's always the risk that we're going to get a 5. See, we have the 4 plus the ace. But I think we'll continue on, and if you really truly are interested in this person or this activity or this job or this hobby, you will push yourself through the challenge of the 5, and you'll get to the harmony of the 6. Okay. But up here with the ace, we got to recognize that this is our giant position. This is kind of what you're really hoping for, and you are kind of like, in a way, we're kind of scared of this because this is a really big heart. This is a really big feeling. I think when you feel something, you feel things in a very deep way. And so I think lately we've been saying, I'm just going to avoid that because I know how deeply I love. I know how attached I get. I know how I go all in. When I love hard, you know? And I'm going to avoid that. I'm going to stay inside the box. And I don't want to go and start a new love because I know there's going to be trouble. There's going to be turbulence on that journey. Okay. You do love antique stores, though. That's Spirit's telling me that you like to go do the antique things, like shopping. Maybe it's because it's old stuff that maybe feels familiar to you, something like that, right? There's something about the antique stores, and there's a feeling of comfort there. Yeah. Anyway, I think you're very good at feeling the energy of objects. And so when you go to the antique stores, like this is all stuff that's been around for a long time, and it feels like it's, I don't know, there's some kind of a comfort in those objects, yeah. Anyway, I feel like you drive a similar route every day, or your days are very, almost regimented, kind of scheduled, yeah. And you don't like crowded places at all. Obviously, I think that speaks for itself. But I feel like you're someone that really can love deeply and fully, right? I think your heart wants to be open again. Your heart wants to be activated. I think that's what's going on right now, is I think that you're feeling an attraction to something new, and you're willing to open your heart and give it a shot, see what happens, okay? You're at the edge of a dark, scary wood. With that Knight of Pentacles, you're looking at the future in a very practical way, and you're thinking, look, if I just keep doing what I've been doing, I'll keep getting what I've always been getting. Nothing changes if nothing changes, okay? If I stay in my box, that's all I'm going to know. If nothing changes in my life, if I don't, if I don't move forward and allow myself this exploration, I know exactly what kind of life I'm going to have. So this is the card of looking into the future. We're at the edge of a dark, scary forest, or the edge of a mountain, however you want to look at it. And we're looking at it and we're thinking, I can see what's on the other side of this. You know? But it's like unfortunately, I have to go from here, I have to go through all this, potential challenge to get what I want at the other side. Is it worth it? Right? Is what I want, who I want to be, where I want to be, and what I want to be doing in my life, is it worth the difficulty? It's kind of like we open up our front door, we look outside, and we think, gosh, it's so people-y out there. It might rain. It's kind of a far walk, Do I really want it? It's kind of like when you, what I do is I don't keep ice cream in the house anymore, right? But then when there's a time where I'm craving ice cream, like, oh, I really want the ice cream, then I have to ask myself, is it worth me getting dressed, getting in the car, driving to the store, spending the money, driving home, getting undressed again, and then having ice cream? Most of the time I say, nah, it's not really worth it, right? But this is something that has to be worth it. This is something that is making you really want to leave your house and go do it, okay? And because right now this is like we're prepared, we're ready. I've got my umbrella. I got some snacks, got some trail mix here. I'm ready to take this adventure. Okay. So I think that this is it. This is the way forward for you, is to make sure that you're prepared, Make sure that you pretty much know what you're getting into. You don't want to be caught off guard. You got to understand that, yeah, maybe it's going to rain. Maybe there will be some emotional ups and downs as you sort of now. There will maybe be some disappointments. Okay? Some setbacks. But you're prepared. You brought your umbrella. Okay. Now, Path of the Serpent, we're going to talk about these cards. Ace of Pentacles, obviously, is beginning this. We're going from the Ace of Cups to the Ace of Pentacles. This is feeling to behavior. Getting a new feeling, opening our heart up, and taking the steps, taking the actions. Getting outside. The four of Pentacles, this is great. The Four of Pentacles plus the Ace gives us a Five of Pentacles. Changing something in the physical, changing our behavior. Changing something about the physical, material reality of our lives. Changing our emotional experience too. 5 and 5. I really hope this is an Ace of Wands, right? So I feel like that's, this is what we're doing. We're initiating change in the emotional and physical worlds. Okay? And I think we're no longer content being in the storm shelter. The Four of Cups here in the environment, we're looking at life and thinking, it's safer just to stay where I am. It's safer not to let anybody in. It's safer not to connect with anybody. It's like, I don't want to get another dog because I don't want to lose my dog again. Something like that, where it's just like, I'm done with pets because I'm sad because I've lost pets before. And, it's sad. It kind of makes you not want to get another one. In fact, one of our loved ones here, a family member, she lost her dog rather suddenly too. It wasn't even a very old dog. She lost her dog, and she's kind of on the fence about whether to get another dog. And maybe this is being on the fence. Double air energy, Prince of Swords, yeah. I don't know. I want another dog because I miss having a dog, but I can't go through another loss. I don't want to get another dog and get attached to it and really love it, and then something happens. So that's kind of where we are with some of this energy. I feel like you are taking a chance on doing this, okay, going forward with this. And the Four of Cups, it's the way you're looking at the environment and the way we're kind of saying, well, it might rain, so I'm better off staying in the storm shelter. It's not actively raining now, but you're saying, well, it might again, so I'm going to err on the side of caution, and I'm going to be prudent, and I'm just going to not do it, right? And what do we have when we put the 4 and the 4 together? Well, we have an 8. The 8 is kind of like, I'm in the state of not doing something because maybe the conditions will get better. Maybe a better time will come around. Because the 8s are that looping energy. It's kind of like saying, I look outside, nope, not today, go back inside the house. I go back outside, I look, nope, not today, go back in the house. It's this repeating cycle of energy. We're in this state of, it's kind of a restless state, but it's not really, we're not making any progress. We come to the edge of something and then we kind of return back to where we were. We go out, we come back in. And I think that's what we have here, especially emotionally, where we just feel like, I'm not quite ready yet. No, I'm not today. Maybe tomorrow. And the thing is, it's always maybe tomorrow. It's always looking at the sky and thinking, looks like rain. I'm not going to go today. Eventually, we just have to go anyway. We know that there is no perfect time. There is no ideal conditions. It's kind of the spiritual energy is here, settled like a mist on the table, saying, whenever you're ready. Whenever you're ready, we can go. The thing is, we're just in our heart, and I think in our physical energy, we're saying, no, I'm not ready today. I think we're getting ready because of the 4 of Wands in the position of what we don't want anymore. I don't want to keep looping back in. I don't want to just kind of go out the door and say, no, turn it back around. This card, the 4 of Wands, what do I say about the 4 of Wands? It's a bon voyage and a welcome home. So it's kind of like saying, you leave the house, you get in the car, and you just kind of, you're about to drive down the street, you slam on the brakes, you say, nope, turn around, going back home. And you come right back in the house, and your friends, your family's like, well, didn't you go? And then he's like, no, not today. I'll do it tomorrow. The thing is, I feel like we do that a lot. I feel like we're postponing things, procrastinating. We want something, we need it. We're going to fulfill our lives in some way, but we keep saying, well, nah, maybe tomorrow. And so we're on this merry-go-round. Keeps coming around and around and around. And every time it comes around, we think, I'm going to get off here. No, wait. I'm going to wait for it to come around again. Or getting on something, right? It's the Ferris wheel that's going around and around and around. And you're thinking, okay, next time that car comes around, I'm going to jump in the basket. And then it comes, no, okay, I'll wait next time. You know. And so it's a pattern, it's a cycle that we need to break. This is in the position of what you do not want anymore. We do not want that same old thing. Because we see Venus in Aries here. This is a desire. This is I'm ready to initiate something, but I keep hesitating. Okay? It's like I know I need to move on from this point, but 4, 4, and 4, you know? It's stagnating. Okay, the 4, yeah, it's a number of stability, but it's a temporary stability. Okay, it's kind of like I found a place that's safe, and now I don't want to move on past this. What we see with our Prince of Cups, though, is that you have this authentic spirit. You have this fortified self and this divine energy around you. You're sort of protected. I feel like you have a very strong aura, a very well-established circle of protection, a magical circle of protection around you. You're a bubble of divine energy, and you can go out into the world. You can go walk through the storm and not get wet. This card is you see the eagle just about to dive into the emotions, knowing that, yeah, I'm gonna get wet. It's gonna be a bumpy ride, but I'm gonna be whole. I'm gonna remain whole. I'm gonna stay true to myself, and my authentic spiritual energy isn't going anywhere. So you know that whatever you engage with, whatever you immerse yourself in right now, is not going to hurt you or destroy you. That you're going to be okay through the process. I think you may even find that this is a lot better than you anticipated. That it's not, if it does rain, it'll be a drizzle. Okay, let's look at our mystery card. What do we want it to be? Well, a 6 of something, right? I think would be great. Or a 9 or a 10 of cups would be pretty awesome too. I think a 10 of cups, yeah. Dream come true, kind of way better than we expected. But we'll see. I kind of feel like it should be some major arcana since we don't have any on the table. If you have a prediction, put it in the comment section below the video. Let's see what we have. We do have major arcana, and it is confidence, it is strength. It is lust, it is passion. It's kind of like saying, I'm strong enough, I believe in myself, I know that I'm strong enough, I have that confidence. Not confidence that says, I'm going to go out into the world and it's going to be all sunshine and roses. Right? That's not confidence, that's like delusion. This is the confidence that says, I'm going to go out into the world. Maybe it'll be raining. Maybe it'll be sunshine. Maybe it'll be snowy. Maybe it'll be windy. But I'm going to be okay. Real confidence is saying whatever life brings me, whatever happens in my life, I'm going to be okay. It's not the arrogance that says I'm going to win, things are always going to go my way, blah, 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 blah. No, that's not confidence. Okay. Courage is saying, if there's a storm, I'll get through it. I'll be okay still. I'll find safety again. It'll be fine. We're not deluding ourselves and just thinking, oh, everything's going to be fine. Doesn't matter what I do. And we're just kind of like, ignorant. No, we're prepared. We're planning. I'm bringing the umbrella. If it rains, I'll deal with the rain. This is the card of passion and lust as well, right? So it's kind of like saying, I need to find a way to express this deep soul desire. This is like a spiritual hunger, okay, that we haven't been feeding. Now it's saying, I have the confidence to go out and feed my spiritual hunger. And if if it rains, if it storms, I'm prepared and I'll be okay. I'll be fine. You know. So it's, how do you avoid getting a flat tire, or how do you avoid your car breaking down? Don't drive a car. Don't take any journey. Don't do anything, because there's always a risk that, I can get hurt. I could lose something. I don't want to lose my car keys. I don't want to lose my phone or whatever when I'm out in the world. So I don't bring it. Leave it at home, right? Well, kind of defeats the purpose of having it. Yeah. There's always something that could go wrong. I think that if we're prepared and we're confident and we believe in ourselves and we trust a little bit, I think things are going to be okay. Yeah. Anyway, let's do an extended reading. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There is a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Virgo Mondays and Thursdays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you are watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we are all in this together.